In case you don't already know, you've been lied to about the American dream. You were told that if you just pull yourself up by your bootstraps, you'd be safe. Meanwhile, ICE is terrorizing neighborhoods. Corporations are laying off thousands with zero warning. Executives getting bonuses for doing that. Three branches of governments that's supposed to hold each accountable look the other way. Being tied to the labor market for so many years has given me insight. It's also taught me how to prepare, and it's taught me that the American dream that we were sold has always been a lie. There's a new normal coming in, the new normal of economic violence. And what you're living through is not life is unfair. It's more sudden layoffs with no warning. Companies have figured out that it's cheaper to treat workers as disposable. They don't feel morally obligated to warn you. I mean, surprise is actually part of their tactic. It keeps everyone else scared and quiet. It makes it so that everybody will continue to do their jobs up to a certain point so that they can accomplish some goals before they let you go. More safety nets cut or buried in red tape is coming. Unemployment doesn't cover rent mostly, not for most people. Food assistance that runs out halfway through the month. Medical care that you can't afford to use. And if you lose your job, there goes your medical care. Why is that tied together anyway? And why do people believe that only rich people or only those that can afford medical care should get it? Why can't we all get it? Politicians and executives will look at someone who just lost their job, lost their housing, or lost a family member to violence, and they'll still say they should have planned better. That's coming from the top to the bottom. And then the people at the bottom repeat that. They believe that. It's not true. You're not imagining that things are more chaotic, more cruel, and less accountable than the days of MLK or your parents' generation. You're watching institutions fall and a lot of people in charge that don't feel any shame about it. Back then, there was shame. That's why peaceful protests worked. If you feel anxious all the time, it's not personal weakness. That's a rational response to a system that's designed to keep you off balance. Theater is politicians showing up after layoffs with thoughts and prayers. Corporate mental health weeks that don't come with a living wage or job security. Motivational speeches about hustle, the hustle culture that ignore rent, medical debt, and childcare. Those things are meant to keep you quiet and grateful while nothing materializes. Places that can offer real help, they're imperfect, but they're an alternative. Local legal aid and workers' rights groups, tenant unions and housing rights organizations, community and mutual aid networks, GoFundMe that are run by actual people and not corporations. They help. They won't fix the system, but they help. Now, some feel that that's not me. I can't just set up a GoFundMe, put my life out there for everybody. But what if a group of you decided to do it together? Here's something. Here's something. Think about this. Just give me a minute. Think about it. What if we all picked a day or a week or a month where we put up a sign in our front yard that said layoff or unemployed, or we wore a t-shirt or a hat with that on there? Something that we can all see, that no one can deny. You'd see how many people are unemployed in communities where you'd least expect it. You'd see that you're not struggling alone. We need politicians to see that. We need employers to see that. We need to see that. Think of the impact that would have. It's undeniable. They can't hide it because we're all out there capturing that. Think of what would happen if everyone walked off their job on Monday. Think of the impact that would have. Would employers have leverage over us then? And then we go back to work on Tuesday, but then we picked another random day in which we all walked off the job. They would no longer have control. Instantly over. And it's all done before they have the chance to lay you off or find a way to fire you. We have to disrupt to get attention. We have to shake the foundation for which these people stand on. Because our foundation is constantly shaking every day. We need to shake their foundation. This has got to make sense to somebody out there. They're comfortable right now with the way everything is going because there's no accountability. But we, the people, must hold them accountable. Okay, let me tell you some things you need to do before you get laid off. And it's going to happen to most of you, and that number is going to get higher if everything stays the same. So before you get laid off, and after you get laid off, these are some things you need to do. Download and save everything you might need: pay stubs, contracts, performance reviews, benefit summaries, HR policies. If you get laid off, you may lose access to those things overnight. Build a micro emergency buffer. Save your money. Because with everything being so chaotic, you don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. Update your resume, LinkedIn, your skills. One thing about updating skills or, taking online courses is it'll help you to stay busy. It's not about being disloyal. I hope that you don't feel any loyalty, to these corporations that are so quick to dispose of you. This is about being realistic. Also, um, a lot of times, especially in America, because So much has been put on us. So much of everything is your fault has been embedded in in us. Over and over, we're told it's your fault. If you don't succeed, it's your fault. Uh, and so when uh, things start to fall apart, we go inward. And so we need people that we can talk to. If you can, try to find some people that you'd feel safe speaking to, including a life coach like myself, or just posting comments right here online. Um, Local organizations that help with rent, food, or job search in your area. It can be very difficult to get help with rent. That's very, very hard. Side skills help: childcare, cleaning, tutoring, rides, food preparation. Those types of things can be a side skill that you can monetize. Okay, so truth be told, sometimes companies may not want to do a whole bunch of firing at the same time because that'll raise eyebrows. So what they do is they just start picking people off. They will try to create a reason to terminate you. You don't want to admit to anything. When HR brings you into that room, you just sit quietly, you ask why this is happening, any type of assistance that you can qualify for: unemployment, food assistance, medical, local relief funds. Is it going to be enough? Probably not. Is it humiliating? Absolutely. But these are things that you've already paid into through your work. So it's your taxes. It's not charity. So never, ever, ever be made to feel some type of way because you're requesting your own tax dollars back. We are all made to feel a certain way if we don't have a job, mostly shame. And that shame leads us to isolation. And that's what keeps you powerless. So reach out to someone and say, I got laid off. I'm not okay. I need to talk. It's not weakness, it's survival. Or I'm having a hard time finding a job. I've been unemployed since forever. And you know what? So many people are going to reach back to you and say, me too. And keep in contact with those people. This is about reclaiming your dignity and your power when the system is rigged. It's rigged against you. Here's something to know: don't sign anything except where you're legally required to acknowledge receiving. Take documents home and have somebody review them before you get laid off. One of the cruelest lies you've been told is that your worth is your job. Lose your job, lose your worth. And a lot of people feel that way. That's the lies that executives use. That lie is what lets executives sleep at night. That's what they use while they destroy livelihoods for their bonuses. That lie is what lets ICE walk into communities and tear families apart, as if those lives are disposable. You're not disposable. Your dignity does not come from your payroll status. Reclaiming your power means refusing to internally blame yourself for what's going on in this world. We have people that are supposed to hold others accountable. We had 3 branches of government that were effective as long as people did their jobs. It wasn't designed so that people would abdicate all their duties. It's really important to connect with people that's in the same boat. It makes it so that you're not so isolated. That comment that you leave under the video, that DM that you send, that support that you give, or the group that you join, that's how isolation breaks. That's how movements start. What if we all put a sign in our front yard that says laid off or unemployed? Then it's tangible. It's undeniable. What if we all had a t-shirt that said that? What if we walked around with that? What if we held a sign that said that? Then you can't deny that. Imagine driving down the street and looking to your left and your right, and you see a sign in the front lawn in communities where you don't expect that. You look to your left and you look to your right, and you see a sign that says unemployed, laid off in the front yard. That's tangible. That's undeniable. People can't say that this isn't happening. You're not alone. What if we were outside these institutions that's supposed to help us? What if we all stood outside of where we go to collect unemployment? Look at how veterans are being treated. They go to war and they come home and they're holding up signs saying veteran, need help. And we all just drive past it when we should be recording that and posting that. The point is to be loud and not be ashamed. Don't feel ashamed. Speak out, because the more of us that puts that out there makes it undeniable. We are in a position where too many Americans need help, and we're not getting it. I hear people online talking about peaceful protests, same peaceful protests that MLK Jr. used in the past. But he did it during a time period in which our leadership had morals, decency, integrity. When they saw people being attacked, when they saw people being attacked by water hoses, fire hydrants, dogs chasing them down, people chasing them down in their face angrily while they were walking peacefully, it caused people to rethink things. They thought, wow, these people aren't even doing anything and they're being attacked. It was during a time when people had morals, but that's not today. The current regime thrive on chaos. They highlight that. They celebrate attacks because the other side has been demonized. And the person that's in charge lack the kind of emotions that leadership should have. So the peaceful protests of yesterday worked because leadership cared. But we don't have that kind of leadership today. And so our tactics has to, well, we need to rethink it. So I ask again, what if everybody walked off their job on the same day at the same time? Monday, everybody just walks off. What kind of leverage would they have over us then? And then we go back to work the next day. We work Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe. And then we do it again on Thursday. What kind of leverage would they have over us? They wouldn't know what we're going to do. Now it's time to hit the panic button because now they're out of control. And now we have the control. And that's where we want it to be. We want to be the ones with the control, not the billionaires. We're the ones that's personally affected by their decisions, not them. As far as they're concerned, laying off 10,000 people, it's benefiting them. We really need to rethink what we're doing. We need to make our decisions effective because, truth be told, what we're doing right now has not been effective enough. If this is you, drop a comment. You can just put, I'm here, or this is happening to me. Talk about your own experience. Don't go this alone. Let's create a community right here and let's talk about it. Thank you for watching.